Hello and welcome to the Punters Show, and we have a very thick and deep Punters Show because I think there's been a...
Well, I've got nothing. How much have you got?
I'm not that thick.
Oh, there's activity from the weekend, the Hawks stable and all this sort of stuff. People are fired up. Matthew Taylor, Glenn Pollock, Mark Lambourne.
Good
morning.
Yes,
Good morning.
We have a new disease after the weekend. It's called the Hawks disease.
Hawks, you know. Before we get into that, man of the match, return. Matthew, you've got all the stats over there.
What happened?
Race speed profiles are back, baby.
I reckon we've got to give them a black mark for no comments in the staying races. What was going on there?
What do you mean in there? Oh, no, actually, we're taking a different approach. If we don't like the race,
they just bailed on the two staying races. It's like...
no, we did, well, not because they're staying races, we just didn't like the races.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah. No.
Don't be bagging Dallas' little love
little
shot.
baby.
Yeah, that's right.
I tipped 4 winners on top, I didn't get
very
close.
well.
You sort of ran a nice second. Yeah.
Don't worry, the race speed profiles were going to be the man of the match.
You've got to tip 6 winners on top to get a mention.
Pretty much. Anyway, Matt, race speed profiles, good return.
Yeah, great return.
A very good return, And look at
that's it, Marty. What else?
Yeah. Echo Gal straight away, ins and outs, Echo Gal.
I suppose it was confidently tipped in the...
It's a Burro.
And the best thing was the prices in the morning were much juicier than what they were on Saturday.
We did see some big plonks on Saturday.
We did, and we did see
plonks.
Yeah,
what's the return of the plonks? Ins and outs.
Yes.
What
what about this? I've taken $6 Duccio on Thursday.
What about that?
Right, and I didn't even think about it. And then I've got into the race and I've gone, where's the price on Betfair? Like, why is it showing 230, 280? So I went, because I'm supposed to lay it at 250.
Oh, you're logged into place.
Yeah.
I've done that deal.
So I've just put the bet in at 250 and I've watched it be taken. And then they take 210.
You took 210, Mark.
Right, I obviously really liked it.
Did that seem short to everyone 210?
We're forgetting about the merits of the horse. Jay Cassidy first up, 210.
It was Jay Cassidy going to get the distance. I know.
Like,
young Claire Nutman didn't get the distance with Casino Dance. Go on, Mark.
Well, I took $3 dream bags in Newcastle, expecting to be able to lay 220, right? Which I didn't. They took 230, but not 220. Fine.
No difference.
But I never, in my wildest dreams, thought that I would be laying Duccio at 250. Not once did it occur to me that would be the case.
Not once did that occur to me that would be possible going to the meeting. And then after Echo Gal,
it was after the first two races.
Where they just said, this will win, this will win.
You
get to the third race and you think, well, this will go straight to the front and times are scary. Anyway, we saw who take off. Well, the girl in Dream Folk didn't really take off. I think she got pulled.
Yeah, I don't think there was just nothing doing and she just ended up there.
But I don't think she had control.
Yeah, fair enough.
When she went off the tape.
Yeah, because it's weird to see a horse from gate one. There it is settled back on the fence.
Yeah, and
all of a sudden, yeah. So it wasn't like a horse that was caught wide.
No.
Thought, oh, well, I'll just try my luck here. It was actually... Yeah, so that's an interesting aspect of the meeting, but firstly, an overarching sort of... seemed to me that the shoot times were a lot far, the 1200, 1000 metre rate times were a lot far.
I think we had a decent, from looking at it, a decent tailwind in the straight. So I think if you have a look at the times and break it down, which I'll be doing with Vince tomorrow.
Do you feel like that? I suppose it's hard to get. Have we got Navesh's flags up yet?
No, I spoke to Navesh this morning. He thought the wind got up to about 40 kilometres, but we don't feel it now because we're out the back and it's all protected. And then you're inside.
I know, but remember we talked, it was more than 12 months ago. Maybe it was 2 years ago, but getting the flags.
I'm not sure. No, I don't
I'll get the flags back.
Yeah, you know, the flags in the centre of the course. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
There it is.
Yeah. Flags.
Yeah, because
should we make it an ISIS flag or something?
Fun.
All right, okay. The flag.
Owen Burrows, picture form, sent out his very good reports for the meeting, and he said wasn't doing a times analysis because the tailwind helped the times in the short races. It never occurred to me. I was at Randwick. It never occurred to me.
No.
Right? Now. The point being that you're well protected in areas that we tend to move around in, you know. But Navesh, we need a flag in the middle of the course.
Windsock.
Yes.
Aeroplane windsock.
Windsock.
You know, I said that 2 years ago.
Right. Lovely.
Like, it's not that hard, is it?
Windsock would be good. Windsock
Should
be on all.
We used to have flags in the middle, on the tote boards and on the middle of the course or whatever.
Seriously, that should be an innovation at every track of Windsock.
I heard rumours like ages ago that Vince McDonald and his team used to have people with flags, and they were sending phone calls to each other like 20 years ago
Yeah.
to get an edge.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? All right, well, the big story of the weekend was the Hawks team. And
the non-appearance.
The non-appearance of the Hawks team.
As I loved Snowy's. I loved Snowy's tweet.
Well, we've got
another 3 fractured pelvises.
yeah. Just to go through a couple of them. That's what was Snowy's one. Snowy's was here. Yeah. Where is Snowy's one? I did put it in.
Yeah, no doubt, but the drift was well.
It's there.
Yeah. What did it say, Glenn? You got it?
Yeah. Well, someone said Dulles called it the machine couldn't win from the yard, and then Snowy replied, no doubt, but the drift was strong well before it set foot in the yard.
Yeah.
Is that the Snowy term?
No.
No, here it is.
Yeah, there's
Himalaya
Snowy.
Dream.
Himalaya Dream, $2.80 to $4. Regisi $3.60 to $5.50. Messine $3.20 to $7. And he didn't mention Darcy Wood.
Well, that was before Darcy Wood.
Yeah. Any questions or 3 fractured pelvises again?
It's a good tweet. It's a fair tweet too.
Lovely. And then we saw Darcy Wood too, who was almost probably the most alarming of those ones from the yard. Glenn Messine was fat, as we said, in the yard.
Yeah.
Regisi was being Regisi again. He's a petrified horse, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
But Darcy Wood didn't look anywhere near as good as
Darcy Wood to me was the worrying one, who's gone back 2 or 3 lengths on what he did first up.
possibly more.
Yeah.
And we didn't even manage to get him in our top 4.
You couldn't, could you? Like
There he was.
like
And when you replay the race and watch it, at no point in the race would you have taken 100 to 1 about him.
no.
He just never went.
Yeah, but there's a couple
Many
of aspects to
marks,
that. When Dale mentioned that he'd gone backwards, I thought, of course, these trainers they love this sort of theory that
Soft.
so the horses won first up on heavy track, gut buster.
Yeah,
got to back off the horse, got to sort of
leave him in the barn. Feed him up.
whatever, just do nothing with him. Or
Yeah. Well, that's what it looked like, didn't it, Glenn? It looked like they've done nothing with him for a month.
Looked like they'd done nothing with him.
Yeah.
There he was.
Yeah.
Oh mate.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's
Is it Snowy?
You can read it out from Nathan Crisp.
Who's that?
This is the dude.
Nothing gone right for Team Hawks since Wayne showed his cock at a school fundraiser.
He didn't do that. I think he got into a G-string or something.
Oh, did he really?
yeah, but you could still say that's displaying
Your wares, I suppose.
Even I'd show something with a G-string on.
That's the downfall of Team Hawks, is it?
We should do a show in Mankinis.
Why?
In summer, let's do a show in Mankinis for our adoring fans. Jane Queen wouldn't mind.
But I don't know about sitting in a mankini.
Just see all this. Yeah. Just to really let
a couple of balls
our people against us like Sky and the people who are up against what we can really provide.
My parents wouldn't be that keen for the deck chairs.
Oh right, so we have to use new chairs.
We'll get plastic. We'll get plastic. Well, have a shower before you get in. No dropping a log then throwing a mankini on. Wouldn't be a great look, would it? Talking about dropping logs and throwing mankinis, I've got one quick story. That's not that funny. I've got a good story. I want to thank.
I like how you spark up now. It's a non-racing topic. Folks, there. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, you'll like this. I am now. I sort of half-term with Chinese Dave's dad's funeral when we got the $1 coin.
Yeah.
Remember, I thought, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
So I've had an incident on the weekend. Now I'm not sure it's Asian, but I'm pretty sure it's Asian because of I don't know why. Because I think it's Asian. It's parked outside near the uni the other day. Come out to my car. There's an envelope on the thing. Envelope. Pick it up. It's a letter. Oh, dear sir, very sorry. Back into car of yours.
Yeah.
I go around to the back of my car. It's not a mark. Don't think any damage, but I only have $10 to my name, so I put it in an envelope to you.
Wow.
It's a big thank you to the person that gave me $10 out there because they allegedly backed into my car and thought that they had to hand over. Yeah, Asians got to hand over something for badness.
Yeah. Now,
yeah,
okay.
All I got to say to you there, you would have got me for 5.
Now, this story started with mankinis and logs.
Yeah, then we now I love Asians. Maybe I think I
If you can see the relevance with
very
that,
sorry about
at
backing
Punters
into
Show
a
is the tweet.
Imagine backing into someone's car feeling that bad you have to put a tenner in an envelope to like square up the deck. There's not even a mark.
Anyway, moving back to some of the comments of for Team Hawks. If it's gay stable, the word would demand blood. It's becoming very clear, and rides are reflecting it. That's from Crookie.
Yeah.
What do you say, Crookie?
Oh, basically, if it was gays, it would be blood would be demanded.
Yeah.
If it was that.
Oh, the stewards?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Certainly hawks protected species.
He is a bit of a protected species, isn't he?
James said, are they too hard in the market? Not enough so you keep improving. The horses beating them aren't hopeless, said James.
So opening up too short, maybe?
Yeah, that's a common point. Actually, Reverse Parker and James Gloss.
We got on to the previous show, and like Aaron was so bullish, not necessarily tipping them or backing them or whatever, but it's all this first up sort of like excitement. Always this first up excitement leading into a meeting, and you get into the betting, and the pros don't want to have a bar of the first uppers.
No. Well, well, I think we all said when the preview machine seemed a strange price at $3 something. In that race.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily see it, but you did say that, yes.
All right. Okay. Kingy said, no, that's actually for Danny wanted you to reprice the Hawks run from Saturday. How do you reprice them?
Yeah, I can have a go. Repricing them. I'd say Himalaya Dream 14 to 1. What's the next one? Regis.
$6.
Yeah.
10 to 1.
Yeah,
Well, that's a bit after the event, though, isn't it?
Well, I'm just repricing. We're
repricing.
repricing.
No, you got to reprice it after the event.
Yeah, bearing in mind it's SP as
bearing
well.
in mind
But
it's-
hang on, these horses haven't actually.
Well, if you say 10 to 1, you might as well say me and 1.
No,
I'm trying to be logical.
No, I'm saying 10 to 1 Regis because they actually did. There was some interest at $6. Himalaya Dreams, we're still waiting for a punter to back it.
Yeah.
Like it says SP 320.
Yeah.
It was 460 on Betfair,
Yeah.
but no one had actually backed it yet.
See, I know what you're saying, but I'm also trying to logically
Like no,
reprice
well,
it.
okay, well, where was there trading money for Himalaya Dream?
I don't know, but you can't make it 14s after the race, can you?
All I'm saying is that there was no punter that stepped into that horse at any stage to take a price.
Okay, well, I'm not saying you're wrong because we're
if
dealing with
the
the
betting
subject
goes
that's
on
objective.
if the betting goes on for another half an hour on that race,
It
what
gets
price?
7 to 2.
What do you mean? Oh, it starts 7 to 2. What does it get to on the fair?
Oh, well, I suppose it does. It
Like
becomes
there was
a
just
point.
it just hadn't established a point where it's going to stop.
It was Himalayan Dream in the stewards report. That was just awful, wasn't it?
I'm sure it would have had
It even trialled really well, which is what the early people got
Anyway,
that keen
and
on.
Messine, what do you reprice it? $11? You can't say 50.
No, Messine.
Messine's probably
no,
SSP,
Messine's okay.
isn't it?
Look, Messine. I went into the race going, of course Messine can't win because it has to chase Zaratone,
Yeah.
which is no good for a first up.
Saradone beats horses up.
Well, Zaratone was coming off his best run this campaign, where he sits outside Ken Seller, who, of course, went up to.
Went well too, didn't it?
Didn't make it to
went
the
well.
300.
But I mean, he said Zaratone sat in the impossible to win scenario at Canterbury. So I'm saying that was his best run of the campaign, and then he got into a situation against first uppers on Saturday, where he just did his thing. I mean, the idea, he would have been better if he drew seven of 8 rather than 4 of 8. But those leaders that just took charge of the race, they went well, ins and outs, echo go. And also we've seen a situation where those horses have run impossibly slower than ins and outs.
Yes.
What price would Lord Leofric have been in race 2? Because he was accepted for race 2.
Well, I suppose he starts second favourite, doesn't he?
Probably does, doesn't he?
At
Does he start that long?
7 to 2.
Because he would have been opening favourite.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just calling the money for
Yeah.
Ins and Outs has started 2:30.
Yeah.
Probably it's probably
Okay. Ins and outs starts
5 to 2,
favourite.
7 to 2, 7 to 2, doesn't it? It's be about right.
Well, I was thinking 2, 7 to 2.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
So Lord Leofric's been beaten 6 lengths in the race that's gone 6 lengths slower than ins and outs.
Wow.
It's not quite fair because Lord Leofric had a shitty run in the weight Rose race, and I can't remember where he was drawn in race 2, but he may have.
I'm surprised to see the Woolgas appalling in that race. Just did nothing.
Looked great, had its
Looked
chance.
great, that's it.
Anyway.
I know, but they're okay. So Terry made excuses for See the World, and I understood the excuses he made were legitimate, but they were still excuses. So this horse hasn't had an opportunity to do anything. Doesn't mean that it's doing something.
No.
Now it's retired.
Is it?
Who is?
See the
But
world.
the other
Do we
thing
have a
is,
benefit night
can
for
we
it?
please have a look at how Barrier 1 went on Saturday?
Just awful.
Right, so with Himalaya Dream, I know why it's done what it's done, only after the race. They've gone like the clappers, and it's chased the pace.
Yeah.
From the
the
worst
underneath.
position.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like good night.
Checkmate.
Like like Liberty's Choice didn't draw one, but it still found that sort of awkward and rails midfield sort of position.
Yeah.
It's just a hopeless position for them.
Yeah.
So Saturday we saw mid to high drawers just dominate the program, and the only horse that sat on the fence to win that wasn't the leader was Loophole, which doesn't really count.
Staying race.
But Loophole never counts.
No.
His whole form just does not count. You can put him on the limit, send him back to a race in Wednesday week from here. He'll start at $8 and finish 13th in a field of 11.
Yeah.
He's an odd horse.
Well, Gord sent through a text straight after the race going, "Gee, Schofield v Claire Nutman, Battle of the Titans."
Yeah.
Poor little Claire. Honestly, she is looking for gas at the 200. She is a
The
weak
enforcer. Just back to the Hawks thing though, boys. Ben Perkins made a vent. Hawks horses tend to go better when money is on. Yeah, we know that. But this is the interesting thing that I'd like to, if the stewards are looking into things and whatever, the Michael Hawks talked them up and they never gave a yelp. Now, I haven't heard that. But I'd be interested to know if he talked up Darcy Wood and he talked up Messine after what we saw in the article.
All trainers talk up everything.
They probably do.
I mean, they make you look like an underachieving spruiker.
Waller.
Yeah.
I'd say Waller does not a big talker up.
He's not. Waller's very conservative.
Well, he's the other way.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, Glenn,
He's
from
torture. But he's only conservative for one reason, because he's had to deal with 5 horses in a race going back years, and he tips A and E wins.
Yeah.
And you do look awful.
Oh, and also you've got to deal with owners too. If you've got 5 in the race,
How
and,
do you-
and
how
you,
does
you,
he do
you
that?
just got to, it's like you're bagging children. But just on that point though,
Well,
Glenn.
he's a would-be funeral director.
He dresses like a would-be funeral director. He looks like a would-be funeral director.
Maybe
He
you
does
could
look
go.
a lot of fun, doesn't he?
Maybe you could go into funeral directing with him.
I could be his
I-
first
He'd be a good funeral
but,
director.
but I mean, but he's
I
really,
handle
He'd handle it well.
Yeah, I've been putting up with deadens for 35 years. I'm up for finishing the job.
Oh no, you'd be quite compassionate, but quite real about it. I think you'd be a good funeral director.
Thanks, Del. That might keep me going.
Yeah,
Past
lovely.
55.
But just back to this, Glenn. I mean, obviously we look at things probably more, comprehensively than maybe the stewards in form and all that sort of stuff, and looking at the horses and watching the parade. If a trainer has actually spruiked up the horses and said that those horses we don't know of, and I'm not accusing Michael of doing it because I don't know that, but if he has,
and they've
that's
failed,
that,
do you think there's...
but they've been presented the way that we've seen it. I don't know how you could be
the
talking
stewards
up.
wouldn't know how
But
horse
but that's the point that I'm saying is.
See, he's offering the commentary on how they're looking at the moment.
Yeah, and we've seen
Right.
it, and they're looking shit.
So, but I mean, for the people that aren't looking at the horses, they're perhaps entitled to rely upon.
That's what I'm
those
saying.
statements.
That's what I'm saying. But the statement is wrong if that's the case.
So you're saying the statement's misleading.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's right.
So
Exactly.
Well, grossly misleading.
Grossly. I mean, you could. I mean, I don't know if you've talked up Messina, you've talked up Darcy Wood. How they presented.
But then the stewards go, "Oh, Mr. Hawks, now listen, you've said this horse is going well," and he goes, "It was going well."
Yeah, it was going well. What does it mean? But
It
that's
all
what I'm saying.
means nothing.
It's exactly right. So what that's my point. Anyway,
So
Nick said stable virus, Betfairitis, and Greg said worst part about it will come in a few weeks and they'll be backed off the map and train 3 winners.
Maybe.
Yeah, they can reverse it. Team.
Can reverse it. Anyway.
They're a tricky team, Hawks, aren't they? And the sad thing is we have to put up with them for another 30 years.
Well, they're a
because the sun's
juggernaut
big.
when they're on fire.
They are a juggernaut. And then, of course, the whole ring gets the whispers of gear in, gear out. Yeah, because then everyone starts doing everybody's head in.
Yeah.
Sooner I get into funeral directing, you might be right, Dal.
Might be good.
Just sit there, do a bit of walling, hang around people that can't talk because they're all stiff. Wouldn't be that bad.
You'd be alright. You might be good.
Yeah, sit
You
there.
look good in a black suit.
Hello, old mate. What, car crash? Ballot, mate. Hello, junkie. Oh, yeah, gear. Ballot, darling. There it is.
Yeah, you've got it. Now, Marty, the most spoken about horse on the
You've
show.
been talking about this horse for 4 days, for 4 weeks now. We said on Saturdays the day it would win.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
It was.
It was a 6-week moral.
What's a 6-week one?
We got her.
But how about the sort of satisfaction afterwards was just a bit hollow because it was
disgraceful.
like
It was the lowest win.
It
you've
was.
ever seen.
But
But you get paid.
Yeah, that's right. She won.
And I watched the race afterwards and I'm going, well, there's only one alternative winner in the race. It's Hollywood Bound.
And Nash just waited too long.
Yeah. Well, I think he was perhaps the victim of thinking that Forget would just take him to the point where he wanted to be.
Possibly. It's easy.
And because Forget was waiting, because they were thinking, well...
The thing that was easy to take out of that race, when you're doing the form, a day before the form, the day of the form, watching the parade, no matter what angle you took in the race, it was hard to be with Richard I.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people didn't think that, did they?
Well, it was a default. It was a sort of a default position. This horse will be there, and it's up and running, and you know we know what we expect.
Oh, at the moment,
Yeah.
ever since his wife Peggy passed away, which is very sad, his stable just doesn't seem to have gone.
Okay.
And he's lost a couple of nice horses. He's lost Avoid Lightning. He was only lost another nice one too.
Oh, where did Avoid Lightning go? So,
That's retired.
Those
Yeah.
hot Danish.
Hot Danish was a couple of years ago.
right, so how long ago
Sir
did Peggy
Butler.
died?
Yeah,
So
that's gone.
Well, his wife passed away about 6 months ago. But that was
Right, so recently.
it's the last year. But that's what I'm saying. It's since then, the stable's been very
Saying he's
lame.
lost his desire.
Not really. I'm just saying that your life changes. You know, apparently she was a very, very solid partner, and next thing you turn up, and horse has been wooed. Yeah, they have boss, and then you go home.
Yeah.
It's a lame stable.
Yeah.
It used to be a hot stable, like a good stable.
Well, considering it's such an old
I'm only tossing him up.
Yeah.
I've noticed the last year his horses are hard to like, and they don't seem to race with the oomph they did. Or a horse like Avoid Lightning might have trained itself.
Maybe.
Fresh thing.
Babiro, Mark, has gone as a horse that...
Well, I've worked out the key to everything. Dirty, filthy Bjorn Baker.
Dirty, filthy Bjorn.
Well, he is a bit dirty, filthy, isn't he?
Dirty, filthy Bjorn Baker. I'm off him completely.
Here we
He comes
go.
round smiling. G'day, Glenn. G'day, Dal. How's everyone going? Yeah, good. Yeah,
Patting his guard.
What do you think of my horse? Yeah, I like it. What do you think of it? Yeah, I like it a lot. I really like it. Glenn. Yeah. Good as gold. Duck egg.
Yeah.
Duck egg. You don't see Bjorn?
Yeah.
You don't see Bjorn? Bolts in.
Yeah.
Dirty, filthy Baker.
Okay, he's off.
Every time he doesn't turn up, his horse wins.
Okay, well, so you've worked it out now.
I've worked out the theory.
So Bjorn's been running dead on us, is that what you're saying? He's
I'm
feeding
not
us
saying
shit?
that at all. I'm saying it's dirty, filthy Bjorn Baker.
Dirty, filthy Bjorn Baker. Okay.
Every time I
There
see
you go,
him, his
Bjorn.
horse lobs. Every time I see him,
Duck egg.
ducky. Put something on for me. Yeah, good as gold. Yeah, ducky.
All right, okay. So the veterans race on Saturday, the wheelchair race,
What's the wheelchair race?
but it's quite delicious the way horses find their way through their career. So here's Babiro doing what he does on Saturday. Now, 2 years ago, Babiro was, or was it only 18 months ago? He was like looking very Kleiner in a Commonwealth Garden 1500 metre race at Rose Hill. Like he'd have to go back to Canterbury to try and pinch a win.
Well, you thought he was going to be a young stayer.
I'll go back to...
I thought he was going to progress by 2,000 metres, and if he won, put him on the plane for the Perth Cup. You know, like the other one. What was it
Big
called?
Cantonese. Big thank you to Jimmy
And
for that. Yeah,
now
it's
we're looking at like the
good way.
shorts and the Maya Stakes with Babiro. Like horses are
the
mad,
Myers.
aren't they?
Yeah, it'd be good in the
Horses
Myers.
are mad. It's crazy
Muir, I
stuff.
said Muir.
Muir.
It's crazy stuff. But Babiro has configured himself to take advantage of the situation that he found on Saturday.
Carrying Roy
Right?
Hutchins.
Whereas punters were prepared to try Lord Leofric, thinking,
As
oh, well,
that's
here's
the-
a bit of
There's the
different,
juicy different form.
But Babiro has adjusted himself over time to take this on board.
Dirty,
right?
filthy Bjorn Baker.
Right. So through the autumn, he was in such a rich vein of form that he stood up in the better grade and said, you know, I'm here, which means that he can come back and say, well, I've already done it, so I can do it.
Yeah, there it is.
And he gets the race run to suit. He's
Finds the little gaps, everything opens up.
he's a trier.
Little Rory's there with that little hit of his.
You know, there's Temple of Boom trying to take charge of the race, but I mean, I suppose it did draw to
1200.
50 years old.
Yeah. Look at the names. Weary's Weary. Temple's 50. Zaratone's 100. Messine wasn't fit. Loyal Leofric had different form, which wasn't good. See the World's finished. Libby's Choice drawn on the inside. At least it was one runner. Cheese racing's easy on Sunday.
It is.
It's even easier on Monday.
Reprice Babiro, 7-2.
Yeah, 7-2. Bang. Rubber stamp.
There it is.
But you mentioned that horse. You talk about Dirty, Filthy Bjorn Baker, Glenn.
Dirty, filthy Bjorn Baker?
Yeah, I remember about that time you were talking about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, sitting in his place trying to plan out campaigns for it, and didn't have any idea what the horse was.
Yeah,
was it an 1100 metres horse? Was it 15? All I had was it down as an absolute of a horse.
The one thing about this horse that's always done throughout its career, whether it's been 1100, 1500, it's always been a traveller. It's always a horse that's relaxed in the run.
Yeah.
And so when the gaps opened up on Saturday and all the 50-year-olds felt their pensioner legs, he just popped through. But you remember those runs when he was on the outside of Rose Hill that day? He just had him covered at the 300 over the 1500. He's always travelled this horse. He's an interesting creature.
Does he have all those horses covered from Saturday? Like, can any of those horses bounce back and beat him, or is he just?
Or do they go different?
Well,
does he start stepping up in distance?
He does have all those horses covered, but he won't have to they won't be his challengers because finish. Like Weary had triple A conditions to suit on Saturday.
Yeah, and was trained up.
Right, and he was Waller off the short break. It was Weary's go.
Yeah.
It was sort of Temple of Boom's go.
Yeah,
we don't have to worry about him at all.
He'll go somewhere else, won't he?
Right, Zaratone's done his dash. Messine has to sort of recreate himself. He perhaps can. Lord Leofric has
He's found his benchmark, and he can't. It's not his go.
He's surprised Flindell.
Oh, right. I had to go back and listen to that again because
Here we go.
Did you hear
I'm
it?
going to ring my mate Steve
Douse,
Fletcher,
mate.
man.
Douse,
I'll get Fletch.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
No, I heard about it. He's calling some other horse.
Right, so what happened was that Babiro was getting up underneath Lord Leofric, and Lord Leofric's going backwards and Babiro is going forward.
Yeah.
And he should have seen Babiro at that stage.
Yeah.
So he hasn't called it at that stage. And then, as they're just about to get to the finish, he spotted the horse in the pinky colours, and he thought, oh, that must be Lord Leofric, like, coming again, because he's missed Babiro coming through. Right. So he's called it Lord Leofric, and then he's quickly corrected himself to Babiro, but it was like he let down punters in not seeing Babiro was coming in the first instance, and then he couldn't get it right to call it.
Can I make a commentary directed at Dallas Baker? All right, this is your mate from Hong Kong, your ex-puff partner, whatever.
Just cut that.
You don't have to cut that. It's just a tongue-in-cheek joke, or tongue up your ass. It's your tongue up your ass, mate. You said to us, give him time, he'll get better.
Is he not getting better?
Would you think he's getting better?
I think so, yes. He's making,
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I've got him at benchmark 45, and I think he's still. He might have got to 50, but like
you said, he's getting better.
Well, you said he'd get.
You asked him if he's getting better.
We lost weight for age.
Yeah, I know.
We lost weight for age. We got benchmark 45.
As I said, I was never.
Thanks, Racing New South Wales. Great job there.
I was never happy with losing Mark Sen. You know that. You know where I regard
weight for
Mark
age.
No.
Well, we got benchmark 45, and I'm saying we're a Dubbo benchmark 50. Is there a chance that he's going to get an 80 rating?
I think there's a chance he might get to 80.
So that's coming straight from tongue up your ass, Baker.
You tweeted.
You're off the Bakers today, aren't you?
Was it after that race?
There was tweets.
The smear. Like, I can't find anything in relating to the smear.
Yeah, no, the smearing was happening that morning actually. I can't remember exactly how it all started, but yeah, I got somehow a crookie made some sort of suggestion that yeah, Darren said there was a smear campaign obviously 3 or 4 months ago, and something happened. And anyway, it just continued and it happened to happen in the feature race. Does
Darren not think there's been a smear campaign?
Yeah.
There was
Well, there hasn't been a smear campaign. Darren's got to understand, we all love Sheen. He's our man.
Yeah, well, exactly.
He's a punter. He's got a good judge, got a good eye, and he got replaced by you. Well, good luck to you, but, you know.
He has made mistakes. That's factual.
Let's throw it to Flindell out there. Let's say he enjoys playing golf and he turns up and he likes his golf pro on Sunday morning. Next thing, there's old mate there. His old mate's gone. Old mate doesn't wash his clubs, doesn't give him the cheap fares, doesn't give him cheap grief. He's going to be unhappy. You agree?
I agree. Well, look, we're all used to being embarrassed because anyone who puts themselves out publicly gets embarrassed a lot.
That's why you get the 200k a year or 300k. What do you
What are we doing?
4 million, I believe.
Does he get 4 million? Does he?
Yeah. Drives buses part time.
But so we've spoken about DF's embarrassment. What about Royal Randwick ATC Stewards' embarrassment?
Well, what have they done
Soft
now?
5.
Yeah, that was a bit.
Right?
Yeah, that was naughty,
surely
right?
that's highly embarrassing.
Yeah.
They do love to improve it.
No, but I mean the fact is that's not okay. It's not okay to say soft 5 and then Echo Gal breaks 69. That's a bit rude.
Tailwind assisted, but even still, I think if you're hitting 110, you're still good track, aren't you? Proper good. Good, not
Well,
good.
they broke 69. They broke 109.
They broke 69.
They won 8.
Isn't
But
that
what I'm saying is
embarrassing?
wind assisted, but still, even with the wind assisted, they're still breaking 110, and that's a good track.
And then up to good 4,
Yeah,
and that's where it stayed.
yeah.
Well, that's the tale of the embarrassment. But
Tony
like,
Filthy Baker is a defender of everybody, man. Remember we used to get stuck in the three of us?
oh no, he's company man now.
Tell it a lie. Look at him. Oh, he doesn't like it.
I'll copy you my lawsuits.
He's also a bit punchier when he's trailing, you know, but he's got something to protect. The race beat profile's man of the match, you know. So here we go.
There you go. Is that in the part one down?
Not yet. No.
All right.
No.
You're gonna make me suffer.
No, I'm sure. Would you like me to bring out any other friends you want to?
So can we
survive by?
Actually, there's a lot of interesting things on page 1.
There is a lot of interesting things. Gun, Sebring, Sun, sort of did the job. There's not really much in that whole group, is there?
They'd like to see. I think Sebring's son needs to do better than that.
Yeah.
Well, has got a little bit of improvement.
Foley,
We found out that even though Vanbrugh was
he was in a
inside,
perfect position.
Vanbrug's got nothing.
No.
Well, the betting told you that, and you know, big thank you to those Vanbrugh spruikers from races from starts 1 and 2 back.
Yep. The Tarquin form looking good, Mark.
Well, fuck. I said to Aaron on Friday, I said, look, that's a shocker, the size produce.
Yeah.
You know, forget the Tarquin. Everyone knew the Tarquin was no good. At Pride of Dubai, you know, Regis ran up to win, and then whatever. So he's got to prove himself as well. Vancouver's the only horse with any
Why
form.
are there so many doubters about Vancouver?
Oh, because Gay carries on like a pork chop sometimes.
And so
Because
it's just,
people want to death ride Gay.
yeah, okay.
And now
It's just there for everyone to see.
Remember the Oval?
It sat 3 wide in a slipper, and no horse in the carnival did that.
Yeah.
On pace and won. And after backing it up the start before by running 1.8 on a heavy track at Randwick or whatever, you know.
one of those other heavy tracks.
No, but I mean, like, you know, I mean, it's
It's the real deal.
it's the real deal. The rest of them are
I'm playing for second.
it's pretty much it so far.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway. All right. Okay. And from what we've seen so far, from the re-emergence of the second rung we're not seeing anyone really step up. And Sebring Sun's probably only doing what it's done most of the time, just a little bit more professional now though, Glenn.
He's a little bit more.
Yeah, he had the kill and then
he's
like
a little Alfa Romeo. He's just he's not a Mercedes or a Porsche.
Yeah.
But he's a little Alfa Romeo. He's ridden by the gun. It gets him in a great, and he suits the gun riding style, I think, too.
Yeah.
He likes to sit back, he likes to look, he likes to pull out, and then he likes to have him covered at the 150 and put the whip away, hands and heels.
Yep.
And that gives the horse a real good look of style.
Yep.
I actually thought the best run in the race,
Yes.
given the circumstance, was Tatouche.
Tatouche is unbelievable little chaser. It's just unbelievable run Saturday.
You know,
ground
and
it
the
made
betting,
was
the betting just like targeted. They said, well, this is Huey to D Beasley,
Yep.
and Drawn Gate 1. Good night.
Good night, Nurse.
Good night. You have no chance in this race.
Yeah. And as it turned out, it had no chance, but it did work well home the last 300.
But isn't it delicious racing? Like there's Let's Make It Rain, who started. What price did he start at Canterbury? 10 to 1.
Yeah, there he is at
Right.
$4.
Two started 5 to 2.
Yeah.
And you know there was a length between them at the finish.
SP
Canterbury.
profile.
They come to Randwick, they go, well, we know Let's Make It Rain's got a chance because it's drawn 8.
Yeah.
Tatouche, 1, wrong rider, good night.
All right, there it is. Everyone's
First 2 races, Glenn, we saw the big turnaround, dry to wet, type, form, all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
also
yes.
the attention to detail. It's like the Gay stable, you know, they go 1200 back to 1100. It's just it's like it's a preparatory run for next start.
Yeah.
So Echo Gal, it was all systems go on Saturday. You
That's
know,
right.
like yes, the track was drier and blah 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 blah, but it was drawn 8 of 8 and a 12-8 in the right race. Whereas last time,
The minute it jumped, it was never going to get beat.
no.
It jumped a length in front, word across.
Yeah, that wasn't that a good sign?
No energy lost.
Yeah.
And then we need to press the energy button. Well, I got plenty of it. There it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you? Oh, you're there.
That pinging the lids and getting a couple of links at the start, geez, that's a big play.
Stacked at the
Geez,
400.
that's a big play.
It's a big play.
Especially when it's sort of
Especially
weaker
drawn
class.
wide.
Yeah, weaker class too. It's
There we go.
just huge.
How easy is punting punters?
Wine Tails, that was, I mean, we've spoken about the Hawks Drift, that was what, the last minute, see you later.
See you later at the $6.
Yeah,
The
unbelievable.
best you're going to do is what you did, and the reason you did what you did is because you were good enough too.
It's just another great run. Gate 1, R. Hutchings, 1200.
Is it a young Barramella? One time?
Jesus.
Or Christy
Bloody
Lane.
hell, that's a bloody...
7.
You're damning it. Barramella?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's all
that.
Wine Tails are going to be, isn't
That's
it?
all it is.
That's all
Well,
Barramella is.
that's the question I'm asking. He's agreeing and you're disagreeing.
I'm disagreeing.
Saying he's
I'm
agreeing.
disagreeing. I'm disagreeing.
Okay, but I'm just saying. So what's the
Wine
bad question?
Tails has got 20 lengths on Barramella.
I'm saying it's a young Barramella.
I'm Barramilla.
Okay, well,
Barramilla. We'll see.
We'll sit down in 7 years'
Whatever makes
time
it delicious.
and say, remember that day Glenn was here when, God rest his soul, because he just knocked himself.
And wine tails.
The first episode after it is where we're going to assess
review.
Wine Tails versus Barramilla.
No wonder he killed himself. Wine tails just won the Cox Plate. You were right, Lamborn.
When did Barramilla come on the scene?
Oh, she was a lightly raced 3 and 4 year old mare herself.
Remember, she won that race at Warwick Farm as a late 3-year-old filly on a Saturday. It was a Warwick Farm Saturday, and she was starting like 2:10.
I remember.
And Huey just did everything freaking right. She fell over.
I'm saying she's a lightly raced Barramilla. I think I'm right there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Glenn.
Race speed profile man's with me.
Yeah.
SP man's not.
Pure maker of Darren Flindell's, mate.
Yeah, they're two puffs hanging in the park. Him and Flindell.
And Glenn, just to point back to that wet to dry, it's not only that they're better suited on it, but a lot of these horses, the 3 big ones of the day, Echo, Gal, Ins and Outs, and Marty, were that combination of being unsuited but also unfit on the or below their peak fitness on it as well too.
Yeah.
And it's a big double negative, isn't it?
It's a big double negative. Going into as it's turned out, a rock hard track where you got Gay third up on the bunny, up and distance, drawn out wide and racing away. Like I said, I think Whitetails, even though some of the bet fair on this late, he's done a particularly good job.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. But and in saying Barramilla, as you know, there's times when the planets align for Barramilla, I like to be on Barramilla.
You've got Winetails not down as Barramilla, and 4th is Il Mio Destino, and 5th is Miss Tenpins on the inside.
And hang on.
Hang on. Look, they've crawled in the race. Il Mio Destino and Miss Tenpins have been there. They've just been there. Winetails is in a hopeless position.
Okay, well, jury's out.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Holy Delusions ran second. That runs around.
Holy Delusions was in the weary position. It's like perfect.
Yeah.
Holy Delusions not a horse to follow.
It runs against Barramilla a bit.
It's been Barramilla. Well, getting back to Darren, I know we did. I saw a few of us on the show seem a bit harsh to him. I think he's doing a pretty good job. But I think what he has run into is, oh my God, I've got this job, and the whispers I'm hearing is, oh my God, how much everyone loved Mark. And so it does make your job a bit shaky in your boots, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, anyway, it is race calling Sydney. It's a pretty big gig. Anyway, Glenn.
Thank God part 1 gone.
Right.